you heard what sparked this off when Whoopi was referring to Jamel Hill's or I did what Whoopi did article where she pretty much said that a lot of Caitlin Clark hype is because she's a straight white woman. All right. But then if that's the case, this is my question.
Are you such a fucking loser? You can't tell when you've won.
Are you and the rest of the WNBA that's complaining about this? Are you such losers that you don't know when you've won? And the reason I'm asking that is, let's say yes, she's getting overwhelming popularity because she's a straight white woman. People gravitate to things that they identify with. Okay? So instead of complaining about why the extra eyeballs are on your product, why not take advantage of the extra eyeballs that are on your product so that you can generate more fans, so you can generate more revenue, so you can keep people out of Russian prisons? We are going to jump over to the first story, which is Miss Caitlin Clark. So we're gonna actually check out a clip from The View, and then we're gonna speak on that for a few minutes. So let's check it out right quick. Big ooh. Probably gotta hit this button to share a clip. Here we go. What we got, lady?
Caitlin Clark, because she's the breakout star of the WNBA right now with the highest salary in league history. Yeah. And a $28 million endorsement deal from Nike. And in a new article in the LA Times about her success, sports journalist Jamel Hill.
That is a hard one, though.
It's
every time I say her name, it's a hard.
My lips just failed.
Yeah, it failed you.
I felt them start and then, It was like real. So let me try it again. Jamel Hill compares Clark to Steph Curry for being relatable to fans, but claims the fact that she's a straight white woman plays a big role in the hype around her. It's not the numbers that she puts on the scoreboard. So I want to point something out. She is the NCAA's all-time leading scorer of men and women. In February, she broke.
And I paused this right quick just to put Shara's comment on the screen. I am going somewhere. I am literally where Shara just said, does anyone really care about the WNBA though? And that's a valid question, especially pre-Caitlin Clark. Pre-Caitlin Clark. Very valid question. Very valid question. That's where I'm going with this.
The woman's record. In March, she broke Pistol Pete Maravich's 3,667 point record. She's had more 30-point games than anyone in the past 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. She holds a single season 3-point record for women. She's the Big Ten's all-time leader in assists. Now listen, when people say stuff like that, that's like people saying, oh, you only got into this Ivy League college because you're black, or you only got this because of this. This girl earned this. I'm sorry.
Now, as much as we don't like hearing what Whoopi just said, that's exactly what's happening in reverse to Miss Clark right now. And I might add, I feel like she has been as gracious and as humanly possible, acknowledging people that came before her, trying to be a good a teammate, actually, and besides, the competitiveness on the court, reaching out and actually being a good colleague, if you will, to opposing team players. So I kind of don't understand why this lady is getting so much hate. I don't. And let's be specific. Why she's getting so much hate within the community? Why?
There are great players, but nobody else has done this. So I'm not mad that they gave her basketball, but I will suggest to Wilson that one of the things they might want to do, Wilson is the people who make the basketball.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Hanks.
We could
Alan,
suggest that in, what is the word? To honor the women who play in the WNBA. Maybe they should do a series of balls.
Yeah. I like that.
You know? And please, do not make them pink, okay? They don't need to be pink. Just make them regular basketballs, because there are some extraordinary players, and she is part of the reason that people are now paying attention. I'm telling you, I'm having the hardest time today.
You sound like me on a Monday.
Yeah. The people are paying attention to the WNBA.
Wow, lady.
Okay.
Yes.
Take this baton.
Yes.
Please,
Do
I
do
can't
that.
this
No,
anymore.
I think what Jamel Hill was saying is important. We need to identify communities that have not gotten the spotlight. Paige Buckers from UConn gave an amazing SB speech about 2 years ago, giving her award essentially to the black women that preceded her, saying although they won 80% of the awards that year, they got less than half of the media coverage. All of those things can be true. I think uniquely with Caitlin Clark, she cannot be reduced to much beyond her statistics because a number is not bias. It just is what it is. But I think that she's also been good about addressing those who came before her. She knows that, like Maya Moore, her idol, came before her. She's been very reverent in saying it was all these women that opened it up and built the sport, and she's taking it a little further. It also can't be forgotten that she came from Iowa, and I say that not just as a proud Iowan, but Caitlin Clark could have gone to a much better basketball program. She made a deliberate choice to build a program. A lot of times people talk about a GOAT being only if you have rings. Caitlin knew going into her choice at Iowa that she was going to be building a program under the tutelage of Coach Bluter, and she took pride in staying home for that. Iowa doesn't have professional teams. We don't get to follow much. So although everyone got on the Caitlin Clark train eventually, Iowa was so thirsty and hungry for a player they could follow and believe in, and you felt like you were a part of it. So that was the beginning of this gusto. LSU, UConn, all these amazing programs. It's like we're back in national, cool. Yeah, we were there last year too. You know, like, so they didn't have quite the same oomph as this Iowa program had, and that's part of the reason Caitlin Clark has also been such a big deal.
Okay. So, you heard the Views tape. I can't believe I'm doing a reaction to a View clip. Wow. But I did like that piece. And you heard what sparked this off when Whoopi was referring to Jamel Hill's or I did what Whoopi did article, where she pretty much said that a lot of Caitlin Clark hype is because she's a straight white woman. All right. But then if that's the case, this is my question.
Are you such a fucking loser? You can't tell when you've won.
Are you and the rest of the WNBA that's complaining about this? Are you such losers that you don't know when you've won? And the reason I'm asking that is, let's say yes, she's getting overwhelming popularity because she's a straight white woman. People gravitate to things that they identify with. Okay? So instead of complaining about why the extra eyeballs are on your product, why not take advantage of the extra eyeballs that are on your product so that you can generate more fans, so you can generate more revenue, so you can keep people out of Russian prisons? Isn't that the point? You guys have been crying about not having equal revenue, not having equal airtime on TV, and we're not even going to get into the specifics about the demographics, okay? I did this before on the show. Men are 29% fans of the WNBA. Women are 11%. The product is for women. They're not the ones that's consuming it so much. But regardless of that, if this lady is bringing extra eyeballs to the product, you should embrace that instead of complaining about why they're there. Because the fact is, people do gravitate to things that they identify with. And if I'm wrong, maybe you guys might remember this from like 90s, the 96, 98 time period.
Earlier this week, Serena Williams said, it seems like it's everyone against us at times. And that's a burden to carry for these two. But now it's each of them against each other for the U.S. Open Championship. Serena Williams to serve first.
Never seen Tiger hit a shot in my life.
Maybe you remember this.
So I said, I'm going to watch this shot. And when he hit it, I looked at my caddy and I just was like, holy. He's the best golfer in the world and he's 21 years old. And I think that's unbelievable.
He's the best golfer in the world and he's 21 years old and he thought that was unbelievable. Remember that? Remember that? Late 90s, Williams sisters hit the scene. More eyeballs on tennis, more eyeballs on women tennis. Who are the more eyeballs? It was us. It was people of color that weren't typically watching tennis, but we started watching tennis. Why? Because there was products on the court that we identified with. So what is wrong with Caitlin Clark bringing more eyeballs to the WNBA because there's a swath of the country that identifies with her? When we enjoy it, we like to make sure that everybody acknowledges the greatness of our athletes that break through a field or an area that they normally hadn't broken through in. We want to celebrate it and we want the nation to celebrate it. So why can this young lady that has been nothing but gracious as far as we've seen, why can she not enjoy that same type of benefit? And why can the league not embrace that and capitalize on it? When Caitlin comes to your town, show us why we should have been paying attention to you the whole time. Beat her team. Show us y'all got game. We're watching. Capitalize on it. That's my 2 cents on that. And I gotta pop Char's comment up right quick, because this comment came up because I was talking about the demographics as far as who was watching the WNBA and who doesn't. And even though the WNBA is a product that's put on, the court to inspire young girls, but is a product for women, and they don't watch it. And as Shar says, they would rather gawk over that dude. Wrong, lady. Brittany Griner. But most ladies, they'll take themselves on girl dates to an NBA game where they can sit there and look at dudes, but they're not going to do that for the WNBA. You know what I mean? So support the product. So I think we got more eyes on it. Embrace the more eyes and quit, making comments and worrying about why the more eyes are there. Capitalize.